The Sesh Podcast, episode 228, take 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Sesh. I'm your host, Kendall, and I'm Janelle, and we're joined by Karelly and Sydney as usual. Hello, ladies.
Hello, hello.
What's up?
Great to have you two here today.
It's great to be here. Kendall, how are you doing? That's great. So glad to hear that. Oh my God. No, Kendall's not here. Don't click away. Don't click away. We need you in our lives. Hi, it's just me for this episode. Surprise. And I'm sorry. And you're welcome.
There's people who are going to love this, and then people are going to hate
Don't
this.
click out. I already told you. Put us on mute if anything, okay? Just watch the whole thing. No, hi. This is kind of a like Frankenstein episode. I'll explain in a second, but it is I, Janelle, with my girlies here, Karelly and Sydney, per usual. Kendall is not on this episode today for a multitude of logistical reasons. So basically,
She was fired.
she was fired. So basically, she was fired. Yeah, we all as a company decided you're done.
You're done. You're done.
Changed the locks on the door.
You're done.
No, so this episode, it comes out the week of Memorial Day week, okay? We usually record on Mondays, aka that would have been Memorial Day. The company's closed on Memorial Day. We didn't want to record on Tuesday because that would have meant that the episode would have gone live late and it would have like fucked up our whole schedule. So basically what I've done is it is Thursday the 22nd right now, the week before Memorial Day week, and I am recording like the first chunk of this episode because actually the second chunk of this episode was recorded in March, like a month and a half, almost 2 months ago, and it was during a dark week of ours, but I still was here, so I was recording and Kendall was out of town, and we obviously couldn't do like trending topics because it was in March, so it would have been old as shit by then. So we did like some evergreen content, which will play after this segment. But I still wanted to have something that was more relevant, at least to start off with. So it's a Thursday right now, and I'm recording with Karelly and Sydney, kind of like some intro topics, if you will, some more of our, normal sesh stuff. And the reason Kendall's not here is because she is recording TCKR right now. So, yeah, it is what it is. We're Frankensteining this episode together. Hopefully you guys are okay with that. Thanks for being so understanding and supportive. But we still do have 2 kind of updates on topics that we've been talking about in the last couple of weeks that I definitely wanted to chat about. And then after that, you'll see me from 2 months ago recording a segment that is more like Am I the Asshole related content, and also like
We did Am I Overreacting and another
Advice
new one.
or something.
Oh,
Advice.
yes, some advice.
Yeah.
And also I literally forgot what we did in this
me
episode because it
too.
was literally 2 months ago. But we were just watching back some of the footage, and we also were like talking about this weird ASMR obsession I have with like back scratch people. Which, by the way, now that after we've recorded that, I feel kind of cringe when I watch it. And also, you guys like burst in my bubble and said that
That's right.
that
It's kind of
eating ASMR is sexual, when I thought it was just for
Yeah.
enjoyment. So,
yeah.
anyway, stay tuned for that discussion as well. But
Oh, you've itching your foot, little Bichon?
oh, and Charlie's gonna look way different too because he was like super fluffy
He
back in
was.
March, and now he's got his little summer cut.
Okay, I need to ask a question. So
Uh-huh.
my bangs are grown out right now.
Mhm.
In that video, my bangs were freshly trimmed. I need help. I'm not sure if I'm having bang blindness because I can't decide if I like myself better with bangs or without bangs or what kind of bangs.
Yeah.
So I'm having a crisis.
Okay,
So I need
okay.
people to tell me in the comments, what do I do with my bangs?
Do we like Karelly's bangs now, or do we like them 2 months ago?
Because
Tell
I'm trying to
us.
grow them out now. And, I'm going to have to like trim them up and like do a little like swoop.
Yeah.
Because right now they're kind of straight.
Karelly or Sydney, do you need any advice?
No, not that I can think of, but
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Okay, great. So anyways, let's go ahead and just get into today's topics, starting with a crazy update on the Kayla Malik situation. This is actually so fucked up what took place here in the last couple of days. So we've obviously been talking about this for a couple of weeks now. And last we spoke, you know, she came with receipts and the whole conversation with James and Evan, which made James look like a real damn fool. Like, just stupid. So now there is some, like, a new piece of info that came out. So she went on TikTok yesterday, I believe, and made a video, which, okay, before that, though, she went on her podcast, Banging Out, and she kind of, like, did an episode just recapping her TikTok. So we're not really going to go into that because it wasn't a lot of, like, new information that we haven't already covered. Which, by the way, if you're lost on this topic, we will link the other 2 episodes that we've, you know, discussed this before. So yeah, yesterday she posted on TikTok that she got an email telling her that there were videos on Patreon of a podcaster interviewing Evan from jail. From jail. So this little bitch boy is calling into a podcast, which we are not, like, I know what the podcast is because it was in the comments, and I saw it's on Patreon, which I'm obviously not going to fucking pay for that. But the podcast, like, Instagram had a little snippet of it, and I watched it. But I'm not going to talk about the podcast name, and we're not going to listen to the actual clip from the podcast because fuck this shit. Like, why are you platforming a predator? And yeah, it's just absolutely terrible. So I'm not going to mention his name, but I still wanted to mention the fact that she's talking about it and she's aware of it. And how frustrating that must be, okay? That after this dude pleads guilty, mind you, okay? Not like he was found guilty and was pleading innocent. He pled guilty. He admitted to the crimes that he committed. And then went to jail for it. And now he's somehow called in on a podcast and is trying to, like, kind of clear his name. Again, yeah. I didn't listen to the thing because I'm not going to pay for that and I'm not going to support it. But I did find it on Instagram, that one clip, and he's basically like, you know, some of the things, yeah, like, it was, you know, bad, but a lot of what James and Kayla are saying, like, is just not true. It's not true at all. And I'm like, dude, you pled guilty. So anyway, okay, let's just watch her TikTok and hear it from her.
I'm genuinely sitting here trying to, like, hold back tears of just, like, anger and, like, who the fuck was I dating for the past 9 months? You're telling me that you are currently sitting in a jail cell after pleading guilty in front of my face, in front of my family's face, in front of my friend's face, public record. You pled guilty to domestic assault, and now you are serving time for it. And while you are sitting in this jail cell, you collect fucking call. That's at least $1.50. You call a podcast. You jail phone in on this podcast and just start yapping about how you're innocent and you never did it and you just had to plead guilty and you weren't actually guilty. And that all the videos were, like, AI.
Okay, pause.
Yeah, what?
AI? Were her bruises AI too? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, you psycho? Do you have anything to say about that? Like, I don't even know what to say. That's insane.
I literally don't even have, like, words for that. Like, how AI? Like, how?
Also, first of all, like, how would that have happened? Like, there's no. It was the video footage of her house.
Yeah,
how would AI have known what her house, like? It would be that would be impossible to, like, generate.
Yeah. That's like when she's holding it down and it's, like, on the carpet and you can kind of see some stuff and, like, what? And her voice or all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
No, and also there was just so much. There was so much evidence of him being him abusing her that there's no way that all of it was AI. That's just the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And it just also shows his, like, mindset that he has no remorse for what he did. No, he doesn't give a fuck. So he's a fucking, like, he's mad he got caught. Yes. It's absurd. The nerve to, which is that legal? Can you just call into fucking podcasts while you're in jail? Well, he says okay, so in part of, I watched some of it on, like, TikTok. In part of the clip, he says that he can't talk about it.
Yeah.
He can't, like, talk about the case.
Yeah.
So,
but basically he's claiming, though, and some of it
that he's innocent, but like can't go into details about other things or whatnot. But what I'm wondering is maybe if the podcaster mailed him like sent him some mail and said, I want you to come on my podcast. But like usually people read their mail. You know what I mean? So it's kind of strange that got past like guards or whatever.
Yeah, how did he even get the invite or know who to call into?
I'm thinking probably like
Mail.
for mail, and then maybe he went to make a phone call and then.
Well, I think what I'm thinking is this podcaster probably sent him the commissary for the phone call.
Probably.
Call time's pretty expensive.
Yeah, I think she said like
$1.25.
Yeah.
And
For just like a minute.
But
Yeah.
some people also like have cell phones in jail, which is illegal, but
That's
they like
true.
get them
but
somehow.
if he was calling through a cell phone, then that's definitely he's gonna get more time or more a charge because of that.
Yeah,
So I just don't know like the legit legality behind this because
I don't
he's
either.
still talking about the situation. He's talking about I guess he can freely talk about James Charles since there's not like he wasn't involved in the court and like the sentencing
Mhm.
part because I don't think he
But
actually ever.
He is claiming like innocence. Yeah.
He said he had to. So, okay, I don't know. Again, this is such a weird question to try and research of like, can an inmate go on a podcast in the state of Tennessee? Google says, this is Google's AI, it says it's unlikely that calling into a podcast while incarcerated in Tennessee would be illegal in and of itself. However, it's crucial to understand that inmates have limited privacy on jailhouse phones and that their conversations can be monitored and recorded. Well, you're already being recorded because they're a fucking podcast. It says there isn't a law that specifically bans inmates from participating in podcasts. I don't know, but then I've read comments of people saying that this is illegal, which I don't know if that's true or not. Especially, I don't know, like what the laws are in Tennessee.
Podcasting and internet shows are a newer thing. So I'm wondering if this is going to change some of those rules in the future.
There are inmates who are incarcerated that will do interviews with like news stations.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But this is
But-
maybe because it's behind like it's on Patreon.
And also,
that
but
they
this is
already
also,
do
but
it.
those interviews are moderated. So like this is completely unmoderated. You know what I mean?
Is it his freedom of speech though to talk to someone on a phone and say, I didn't fucking do this, I'm innocent, I was forced to plead guilty? Like, I don't really know.
I mean, I
don't
guess
know.
he can't get really in trouble in the sense that like he's not the one putting it online.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Can someone else get in trouble? I don't really think so because there's jail calls that are leaked like all the time.
That's true.
Like, there was a jail call of Diddy that was leaked that we watched on Mile Higher a couple months back. So I don't really know.
I guess that's besides the point. And it's
Yeah,
just the point of him going on a fucking podcast
Yeah.
and having the fucking goal to
Who
do
is
that.
platforming this fucking dude?
Yeah.
So, okay, I don't, again, know much about this podcaster. Once again, not saying the name of the podcast. But from what I could kind of read, it seems like this is what they do. And also, I think this was like their first episode. This was like their launch episode.
Yeah.
Maybe, I think.
I think so.
And it sounds like their whole thing is like to interview people who are incarcerated. I don't know. So I just think it's really bizarre that you would platform him
An abuser,
specifically.
yeah.
Like, that's just so disrespectful, especially to do it days after he goes to jail. Like, yeah. Anyways, okay, let's just keep watching.
How fucking invalidating. Like, how can you genuinely live in such a fantasy land?
Yeah.
I just got emailed this shit and I'm like I want to throw up. Like, I actually want to throw up. What the fuck? Like, that. Like, who are you? Like, genuinely, who was I dating for the past 9 months?
I guess I shouldn't be surprised because it's like, oh, him doing this is
yeah.
nothing compared to what he actually
Yeah.
did to Kayla. But you would think after being publicly outed for your horrific abusive behavior and then pleading guilty and going to jail, you would just shut the fuck up. You think you would just like shut the fuck up for
Yeah.
a little bit and like try and lay low.
Yeah.
Right. Like he's also just making it so much worse.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
That's what I'm
he's not-
saying.
Yeah, he's not.
No one's-
he's
No one's
on his
watching
time.
this. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
on
sure
his
there
side.
are some people, but it's not like he's like getting all these people to be like, I never thought of it like that. I was on Kayla's side, but now, you know what? Now that I've heard Evan talk on the podcast, I'm going to rethink, like, I'm changing my opinion. I actually do believe him. No.
Yeah. I think that he's just so self-involved in such a fucking
piece of trash.
Piece of trash. Like, he has no regard for he lacks the empathy to really understand what he did to Kayla and, like, understand that he could have killed her on multiple instances. And it's terrifying knowing that this man will be free again in a year and a half. You know what I mean? Like,
and like, look how he's speaking too. And the fact that, like, he's going to be free and he's delusional. I also think he's trying to keep that, like, social media.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, give it up.
You know?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like, you're not an influencer. You're not. Like,
no, you're an abuser and
convicted.
A convicted criminal. What are you trying to do?
And also, it's really concerning. In part of, like, that interview that he did, he talks about how he attributes all this to alcohol. And I'm like, dude, no. First of all, no. Also, you're 20 years old. Get help. Like, it's crazy. Me and Cindy had been talking about this a while ago. Like, what's the, like, because obviously you can't drink under 21, right? Do you still get in trouble if you admit to it, or do they have to, like, catch you in the act, or does there have to be, like, video proof? Like, how does that work? Because I feel like that's another charge that they can give him to possibly
he had
give him
a
more
DUI. Remember?
Yes, yeah. And he did get, like, underage.
He probably got an MIP. I don't know. I don't really know. I think if you say, like, oh, I drank underage, I don't think you can really get in trouble because there's no proof of it.
Yeah.
So as long, I think you, like, need proof. That's like.
But I also think it's not really. This isn't really
about that.
Because it's like he's done so much worse. So I don't think. I mean, who knows? Maybe he did get an MIP when he got a DUI. I don't.
But the fact that he's also, like, blaming the alcohol for some of this, and
I think he probably figures, hey, it's better for me to admit to underage drinking than it is to being a crazy abusive psycho.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, the underage drinking is the least of this dude's concerns at this point. So, but yeah, I see what you mean, and I think, like, okay, yeah,
maybe
I would probably agree that if you already have a tendency to get violent, period, alcohol a lot of the times can induce that or make it worse. That's not an excuse. You don't get to be like, oh, I was drunk, so I fucking beat the shit out of someone.
Right. Yeah.
Like, that doesn't work. You can't be like,
consequences.
Oh, okay, no worries then. It was the alcohol. No, it's still you fucking doing that. And if you are someone who gets dangerous when you're under the influence, then you shouldn't be fucking drinking.
Yeah.
You know, there's, like, really, that doesn't help his case at all to be like, oh, well, I was so drunk, I don't. And he kept doing that. Remember, in her parts, she kept being like, yeah, he would wake up and pretend like he had no idea what was going on.
Yep.
Which I think that's a lot of people. Like, that's like a cop out for a lot of people. Just in poor behavior in general, people are like, oh, I was drunk, I didn't know what I was doing.
And he said that too. Like, when he was in the car when Zach was filming him, like, talking about how liquor was the main reason for, like, the fights or whatever.
And it's like, no, I don't believe that. I don't believe that liquor was the main reason for your fights. I think that it could
probably
make it worse. But at the end of the day, like, you're an abuser, whether you're drunk or not. That is what it is. So I just feel so bad for her. And also, I keep seeing comments of people starting to say, like, okay, let it go. You're dragging this on, Kayla. Like, just stop, let it go. I'm like, dude.
Fuck you for saying that.
Yeah, what the? She's only been talking about this for a couple of months. And the sentencing just fucking happened, like, what, 3 weeks ago?
And she's not even really talking about it. She addressed the James Charles thing, and then it's like shit's happening to her.
It's getting dragged on, but not because of her. You're right. Like, she's responding to these things.
Yeah, she's allowed to respond story. To people. Yeah, that's the thing, is, like, she can talk about this however long she wants to. It's her fucking story. Let her talk about it for as long as she wants to. Who gives a fuck?
Right. It's your decision to watch it or not.
Yeah, like, that's the whole thing, is like, okay, then don't watch it.
Yeah.
What is the problem? Let her talk about her. This was an incredibly traumatic experience that she went through, and she has every right to talk about it or not to talk about it. It's so interesting to me, because you can never make society happy. It's like, people get pissed off if you're a survivor of abuse and you don't talk about it, because then it's like, oh, well, it's too late now. Why didn't you talk about it before? Oh, if it really did happen, if it was so bad, why didn't you report it? Why didn't you talk about it? Why were you silent about it? And then if you do talk about it, then it's like, oh, shut up. You're milking it. You're dragging it on. Like, what the fuck do people want from people?
You can never make everybody happy.
It's crazy to me. Let people talk about let her talk about this for as long as she fucking wants.
Right.
And if you don't want to hear about it, then just scroll. Like, it's not that complicated. It's so bizarre. I don't know. It's God. So, anywho, yeah, I am just appalled. That like shook me. When I saw that, I was like, there's no way this fucking dude is calling in.
And he just like woe is me, like poor me.
Yeah, the
like,
fact that he's trying to be like poor me is insane. And I don't know. I think the idea of having a podcast and interviewing current inmates is an interesting idea. If you were to do it with like, I don't know, I think it's a fine line of like perhaps people who were wrongfully convicted or have, you know, a life sentence and they've been working for decades to try and get out, or they're on death row and they need public eyes on their case in order to try and get someone to, you know, change their sentencing or something. But like, why? It's very clear why you decided to, out of all the people, to interview Evan, this bitch who just pled guilty to horrific physical abuse.
And not only that, but there's so much fucking video evidence,
right,
that he actually did it. Like,
and like, he doesn't need to be interviewed. He's gonna be out in a little over a year. Like,
and it's just like a total play on Kayla too, because it's like, yeah, obviously her story is all over the media, and so, you know, this clearly horrible person is like, well, then I'm going to bring the person that, you know, back into the spotlight.
Yeah,
like knowing that that's going to gain traction because it's so messed up.
Right. Put yourself in her shoes. If you were her and your abuser was in jail and then went on a fucking podcast and you found out about it, I would say something.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would totally be saying shit. Are you kidding me? I don't blame her at all for, quote unquote, dragging this along. Like, shut up. She can do whatever she wants. It's so ridiculous. So, yeah, I mean, I hope that she is continuing to heal, because this is just so upsetting, and she deserves to get some closure on this whole thing, and hopefully as time goes on, you know, she'll be able to start to, I guess, heal from it the best you can. Obviously, like, it's never something that's just going to go away. She'll be living with this trauma for the rest of her life. But there's no like wrong way to heal and get closure from something. So if that is not talking about it ever again, fine. If it is continuing to talk about it, fine. You know, it's not the public's decision to make. So just wanted to put that in there. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the Justin and Blake Lively updates. Also, Tay Swift is brought back into the mess, okay? Supposedly, Blake Lively pressured Tay to publicly support her. So we'll see about that. So on May 9th, Justin's lawyer, Brian Friedman, subpoenaed Taylor Swift as part of the ongoing legal battle between Justin and Blake. And Taylor's team clapped back fast, okay, making it clear that she has nothing to do with any of this and wants no part of it. One of her reps said Taylor Swift never set foot on the set of this movie. She was not involved in any casting or creative decisions. She did not score the film. She never saw an edit or made any notes on the film. She did not even see It Ends With Us until weeks after it came out, and was traveling around the globe during 2023 and 2024, headlining the biggest tour in history.
They said she didn't have time for that.
She says, listen,
Yeah,
I'm busy. Her team also clarified that the only connection she had to the film was licensing one of her songs, My Tears.
Ricochet.
Big words for Janelle.
I did not know that's how you spell ricochet.
Honestly, same. Is that a good song? Never heard of it. Which one was it?
I don't know.
Okay.
The Swifties not in the room with us.
Oh, that's true. Kendall the Swiftie. She says she can't call herself a real Swiftie.
That's right.
Because real Swifties have to like... It's like if you don't know Taylor's like size of her left big toe, then you're not a Swiftie.
You just say tit.
Left tit.
And you don't have a friendship bracelet that you got at the Eras tour.
Then you're not Swiftie. Supposedly. Okay, so her team says the subpoena feels like nothing more than a publicity stunt, an attempt to drag her name into headlines and create clickbait rather than sticking to the facts of the case. Well, it worked. Okay. The clickbait worked, I would say. Justin claims Taylor had a much larger impact on the film, and he told reporters that Taylor had watched a video of Isabella Ferreira, who plays young Lily in the film, and that Taylor encouraged the casting decision.
Is it Isabella Ferrer?
Ferreira?
Okay.
Ferrer.
I think you're right, just without the A.
Ferrer.
Yeah.
Ferrer Rocher.
Ferrero Rocher.
La Roche-Posay.
Now I want one of those. Honestly, those are kind of gross.
I love those.
Anyways, yeah, so supposedly Taylor encouraged the casting decision. And this is also something that Isabella shared with the press. So they say, no, she was involved.
No.
Okay. She was involved.
She's like, I like Isabella.
That's right. And Blake's team didn't stay quiet about this either, okay? Her rep released a statement via People calling out Justin's team for turning the lawsuit into some circus, saying, this is a very serious legal matter. Not Barnum and Bailey circus. Mr. Baldoni, Mr. Sarowitz, and team continue to turn a case of sexual harassment and retaliation into entertainment for the tabloids, going as far as suggesting that they sell tickets to a concert venue, Madison Square Garden, to witness Miss Lively deposition. To subpoenaing Taylor Swift, a woman who has given a voice to millions all over the world. So what, are they selling out MSG?
It was like a reference, I think, relating to having her be in the pub, like selling tickets to...
I'd watch. Well, it's not even going to be, what's the word? Filmed. Or, like you
Publicized?
Yes, thank you.
Or
because it's in New York.
Yeah, it can be live streamed.
Then on May 14th, things escalated, okay? Brian Friedman returned with a letter to the judge overseeing the case, stating that the decision to subpoena Taylor was necessary under the circumstances. And in a new court filing, Justin Baldoni's legal team claimed that Blake's lawyers contacted Taylor's legal team and allegedly demanded that Taylor publicly support Blake. Quote, on February 14th, 2025, I received a voicemail from a person very closely linked to Taylor Swift, who I subsequently called back the same day. Out of respect for the individual in question, I am not identifying them at this time. However, should the court direct me to do so, I will comply with the court's order. Then it continues, during the February 14th phone call, which lasted approximately 1 hour, the speaker told me that they had been informed that J. Douglas Baldridge, which is counsel for Taylor Swift and a partner at
Venable
LLC.
LLP.
LLP. What the fuck?
I think it's a law firm.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay, well, anyways, they had received a phone call from Michael Gottlieb, counsel for Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, during which he requested on Miss Lively's behalf that Taylor Swift make a social media statement in support of Miss Lively given her absence from the Super Bowl that year, and stated that if Miss Swift failed to do so, Miss Lively would release 10 years of private texts with Miss Swift. The individual also told me that they had been informed that Mr. Baldridge had accused Mr. Gottlieb, whatever, of extortion and ended the call. So basically, Taylor Swift's counsel received a call from Blake and Ryan's counsel requesting, supposedly, that Blake Lively wanted Taylor Swift to make a social media statement supporting her publicly.
That's crazy.
Yeah, or else.
Or else, if she didn't do that, then Blake Lively would release 10 years of private text messages. What the fuck?
And somehow Brian Friedman was told this. I just think it's like a very, like...
That's crazy.
I don't know. Yeah. It's kind of wild.
I mean, it kind of makes a little bit of sense since Taylor hasn't, like, she hasn't publicly supported her, probably because she has other shit to do. But
so where's those 10 years of text messages?
I'm sure Taylor Swift would have, like, knocked that shit out. Her team would have,
like, LOL, try.
Yeah.
Also, who gives a fuck about the Super Bowl? I'm so confused why they're still babbling about that.
Oh, yeah, because they're saying that was a publicity thing.
Like, if the fact that she didn't bring her is showing that they're feuding.
Yeah.
Who, Blake?
Yeah.
Didn't go?
No, because
She went last. She
Yeah.
went the year before. She went.
Taylor wasn't at the Super Bowl?
no,
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 Taylor
she
was.
was.
But Blake
Blake,
wasn't.
Right.
Blake was at the one before that. Before this.
And they
year.
think it's because they're beefing.
Right, and it's
Yeah.
like that's so.
And that's why
fucking
they
stupid.
didn't. That's why Blake Lively didn't go.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I mean, if this is true, if Blake really did ask Taylor to like make a statement about it and like drag her into it, because having Taylor's name on anything is going to make it blow up no matter what.
I just feel like I don't think Taylor Swift cares enough to not bring you the Super Bowl.
Again, she
Go
has bigger
get
fucking
your
fish.
own ticket.
Yeah.
I'm confused why Taylor needs to bring you to the Super Bowl.
well, then that could
Am
cause
I
even more
lost?
drama. Like, if she were to get her own ticket and not be sitting in the box with Taylor.
It's so stupid.
Why? Get a box with your fucking husband and your friends. Is Taylor your only celebrity friend you have? Isn't she with what's her face anyways? Patty's wife? Ugh, I hate Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, I was like, who's
Who?
Patty?
Call him Patty.
Wait,
Patrick
oh, yeah.
Mahomes.
Who? Taylor or Blake?
No,
Taylor.
Mahomes'
Mahomes' wife and her are friends.
Oh, they're football wives.
Not a big fan of the Mahomes family. Sorry. So in the letter filed by Brian Friedman, he claims Taylor's legal team reached back out to Blake after the first conversation, saying, quote, during the same February 14th call, the individual told me that they had been informed that 4 or 5 months earlier, Miss Lively had requested that Miss Swift delete her text messages with Miss Lively.
Wait, so she's telling her to she's telling her that she's
Blake-
make a statement, otherwise she's going to release messages.
And then Blake,
But then also asking Taylor to delete her messages.
according to the individual,
That makes no sense.
Miss Lively had requested that Miss Swift delete her text messages with Miss Lively. Brian continues saying, I was connected to this individual through a mutual friend who informed me that the individual wanted to talk. We had several phone calls since February 14th. On a later call with the same individual, the individual told me that Mr. Baldridge, Taylor's counsel, has sent a written communication to Mr. Gottlieb, which is Blake and Ryan's counsel. So Team Taylor sent a written communication to Team Blake relating to their phone conversation. My office issued a subpoena to Venable LLP for the purpose of seeking the aforementioned written communication. I declare under penalty of perjury pursuit to blah blah that the forging is true and correct.
The foregoing.
Sorry. It's like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. That the foregoing is correct. So basically,
Brian wants wants this communication that
Right.
went down between the two.
Right. Now, Blake's lawyer made a statement saying, quote, we unequivocally deny all these so-called allegations, which are cowardly sourced to suppose anonymous sources and completely untethered from reality. This is what we have come to expect from the Wayfarers Party's lawyers, who appear to love nothing more than shooting first without any evidence and with no care for the people they are harming in the process. We will imminently file motions with the court to hold these attorneys accountable for their misconduct here. So, now Judge Lindman's response. After Brian Friedman's court filing, the judge overseeing the case, who is Judge Lindman, said the following.
Judge Lemon.
Lemon. Judge Lemon. Judge Lemon said the filing, quote, is irrelevant to any issue before this court and does not request any actions from this court. And at the end of the statement, he closed with, counsel is advised that future misuse of the court's docket may be met with sanctions.
To get fees.
Blake's rep didn't hold back, saying, quote, it took the court less than 24 hours to see through Mr. Friedman's irrelevant, improper, inflammatory accusations, strike them, remove them from the court, and warn Mr. Friedman that further misconduct may be met with sanctions. I don't really understand what the fuck that means, but it sounds like
They shut down.
yeah, the judge was like, no, we're not fucking doing that.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. There you have it. Okay. So where does this leave things? Everything's still unfolding. There's like a million updates a week. The focus remains on the allegations of misconduct during the filming of It Ends With Us, obviously. And Blake's team is asking the court to issue sanctions against Justin Baldoni's legal team, saying, as for Taylor Swift, her team has made it clear she has nothing to do with the situation and doesn't have any relevant info. She's like, leave me the fuck out of this. I'm on tour. She's not on tour anymore. She was on tour. Whether she makes a public statement or not, or just stays out of it completely is obviously up in the air. But so far, she hasn't fucking said anything, and I highly doubt she will. So
She doesn't give a fuck. She has
No.
other things to do. It's fucking Taylor Swift.
no, literally. I just think that's so embarrassing for Blake to be like
Yes.
dragging her name. Like, dude, what are you doing? If this is your friend,
I
But
know.
she's like, I'm not saying I'm on Blake at all, but she's there. Her team is like basically saying, like, we're not saying that. Like, that's not true. But then I'm like, well, who's telling
Right.
the truth?
right. Okay, so new info dropped today that we're recording this May 22nd. So Justin has dropped the request for info from Taylor Swift about what she knew regarding the situation between Blake and Justin during the making of the movie. He says, I actually don't care about what happened anymore. Never mind.
No more subpoena.
Yeah, source says subpoena was dropped after Justin's team, rep by Brian, got the details they were looking for.
Hmm.
Neither Justin nor anyone from Wayfarer Studios, including its execs or publicists, responded to request for comment on Thursday. They said, we have nothing to say, but we don't need it anymore. Taylor's team, on the other hand, kept it brief, offering only a polite no comment. And Blake's reps claimed, quote, the Baldoni and Wayfarer team have tried to put Taylor Swift, a woman who has been an inspiration for tens of millions across the globe, at the center of the case since day one, exploiting Taylor Swift's celebrity with the original plan in Melissa Nathan's scenario, planning document, and it continues to this day. Faced with having to justify themselves in federal court, they folded. At some point, they will run out of distractions from the actual claims of sexual harassment and retaliation they are facing. So it's unclear whether Taylor and Blake's friendship stands during all of this. Are they friends or not? Are they having sleepovers or not? Are they braiding each other's hair or not?
You know what's so funny? Imagine if like one of your personal friends' relationship was like put on blast like this. Like,
Yeah.
oh, did they have a fault? What happened between Sydney and Karelly? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
They haven't gone to
they
dinner.
haven't gone to dinner. Yeah, it's like
Gone to
imagine the fucking.
Oh my god.
It's such a fucking. It is a circus. This is literally
totally
a circus.
It's totally a circus. Now, this is a side note here. One more thing to add about Scarlett Johansson's involvement. Because remember, we mentioned previously that Scarlett Johansson used to be married to Rai Ren.
Right.
And Scar JoJo and Just Ball are connected through Eleanor the Great, which Scar JoJo directed. And Justin's company, Wayfarer Studios, co-financed the film. Now, this film premiered at the Cannes Film Festival on May 20th, and Justin skipped the film festival for ScarJo's Eleanor the Great due to ongoing legal issues with Blake. He said, listen, bitch, I don't have time for this crap. I got to suit up for court here, okay? And Scarlett and Justin didn't actually meet while making Eleanor the Great. He was tied up directing Ends with Us. So their connection was mostly behind the scenes, more about like the business side of things than working together face to face. Now, ScarJo did an interview with Vanity Fair, and when Justin's name was mentioned in the interview, ScarJo just laughed it off and said, quote, Wayfarer was super supportive. She goes, ha, 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 ha. Wayfarer was super supportive throughout the process of making her film.
You kind of sound like her.
Really? I have no idea who this person is. As for legal drama, she says, ah, ha, ha. Yes, such a weird timing. She added, brushing it off without diving in. So far, Scarlett hasn't been pulled into the legal case in any real way, and her connection to Justin is purely professional, okay? And she made it clear that she's focused on her own project. And for now, she's staying out of it, and that doesn't really seem like it's going to change. I don't know why anyone would want to get their asses involved in this crap.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no thanks. No thanks. All right.
No.
Now, this is just a random ass side tangent here. This isn't really a topic, but a couple weeks ago, we talked about how JoJo went on Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother. We'll link the episode down below if you haven't seen it. And she was on the live feeds and just overall seemed to be very flirty with another contestant named Chris Hughes, okay? And during this time, JoJo was dating someone who was outside of the house. What's their name again?
Cat.
Kat, right. And
Kath. Sorry.
Right. So anyways, when JoJo left the house, her and Kath ended up breaking up. And there was lots of speculation that JoJo and Chris were lovers and that basically JoJo was cheating on Kath on the fucking show. And JoJo's like trying to come out and be like, no, we're just festy besties. We're just like, what'd they say? Like soulmates, but in like a platonic way or something.
And then also, JoJo came out. She revoked her lesbian card and now identifies as queer.
Right. Which is fine.
Yeah,
We
no,
love that.
absolutely.
We
Yeah,
love that
like
for her,
explore
whatever.
your sexuality.
Yeah. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
However, seems like her and Chris are now hard launching on the old Instagram, okay? Because what was this, like 3 days? No, a day ago, whatever. She posted a carousel of photos, okay?
And same with him.
Oh, and same with him.
Mm-hmm.
It was her
And-
birthday week.
And clearly this was a hard launch, okay? Because the caption says, "This year's birthday week was more magical than anything. Full of surprises, family time, performing, chilling, laughing, loving, smiling, and good, meaningful cries. Absolutely beautiful. Wouldn't change a single thing a week. I'll remember for the rest of my life." And if you look through the pictures, there's several of them that her and Chris look very cuddled up and a lot more than just friends, okay?
Also, she has a fucking tattoo of her makeup from...
She does.
That's hilarious.
I thought those were birds.
I thought they were like weird dolphins.
Not to tattoo shame, but what is it? Like,
It's from her, like,
I-
Karma's a bitch makeup, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is. But I'm
Yeah.
like, that.
So anyways, there's lots of pics. There's pics of
so many.
her, like, and Chris cuddled up, sitting somewhere. There's a pic of them sharing a little breakfast.
His
a
hand
pic
on his
of-
thigh.
A hand on a thigh. Pictures of, or like a little video of him with all these, like, birthday presents that he wrapped for her.
That's a real, like, touchy hand on the thigh.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's
That's like a grab.
that's like a
Thigh
yeah,
grab.
That's a thigh grab for sure. So
That's a boyfriend grab.
then there's one that they're like, she's like cuddled up on his chest. So friends, my ass. Okay. Friends, my ass. They're dating, which I'm like, whatever, do you? But also, I just feel, look at that. Friends, my ass. Friends,
Friends, my ass.
Friends, my ass.
Good job to Kath.
That's
Poor
what I'm saying. I
Kath.
just feel like that's fucked up. I'd
Yeah.
be so pissed if I were them.
Like obviously publicly cheat on them and then a week later post your new relationship. That's crazy.
No, that's crazy. Like, keep that private for a sec. I don't know. I'd be pissed if I was Kath. Whatever.
It's kind of
Oh,
weird.
wait. What did JoJo? She commented on Chris's saying, "And happiest. Heart is overflowing." What do the comments say?
Obsessed with you both. This is from his Instagram. This has to be a hard launch. I'm pretty sure the comments are heavily filtered because there's nothing negative.
Or everyone's just so happy for them.
Honestly, some people are taking it way far and being like, she's really out here dating a man. It's like,
What?
let her explore.
That's
herself.
not the issue.
That's
That's not the issue
yeah.
at all. The issue is that you publicly cheated on your partner and then freaking tried to deny it and then hard launched like
With that
5
same
seconds later.
person.
That same person.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, JoJo has every right to break up with Kath and decide that she doesn't want to date them anymore. That's completely, and go date a man. Do whatever the fuck you want. Who cares? But it's just the timing of it is, God's timing is always right. Have you seen that? You know that?
I think so.
Oh, God.
Do you know JoJo's real name?
Scarlett JoJo Johansson?
So close. Joelle Joni Siwa.
Okay.
Mhm.
Joelle Joni. Well, there you have it, folks. That's the updates of today. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let us know in the comments what you think about all of this, and specifically what you think about JoJo.
Yeah.
Do we support? Are we a little pissed? Are we on Kath's side? Let us know, okay? And I'll go ahead and play the rest of the episode now. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Bye. Yeah, today, let me put my son back in his bed. Ugh.
Charlie, it's my son.
Charlie's here on the table today because I need him for views. He's a revenue maker. That's the only reason why I have him as a pet.
That's right. Yeah.
So I've seen those comments before being like, Janelle just uses him for content. Duh. Why else would I have a pet? It's like the only reason, right?
To record him.
Yeah, to record him.
No, he brings in millions and millions.
Millions and billions. No, but for real, usually he sits between us. But when I'm alone, it's fun for him to sit up on the table.
He needs his moment.
Exactly. I wonder what his zodiac, moon and rising are. I know he's a Cancer, which is the most fitting shit on earth for this little boy.
Oh, he's crying right now.
I'm always going to be crying. But yeah. What's up? I honestly didn't really plan a whole lot of what I was going to say. I was just going to kind of wing it and see what the hell comes out of my mouth, which sometimes is a bad thing. Sometimes it's a good thing. So we'll see what happens. But Karelly and Sydney did put together some fun activities for us to do. Obviously, because this episode is 2.5 months pre-recorded, we can't really talk about anything current events wise because it wouldn't be current anymore and we can't tell the future. So we have put together some more like evergreen topics, specifically Am I the Assholes? And then what was the other one that you guys found?
My overreacting, which is very similar, but just am I overreacting?
And a few like advice questions.
Who is asking for this advice?
Reddit?
So
we're perfect for this.
So
Yeah.
we're going to be giving advice because we are very qualified to give advice. Sometimes I feel like a lot of people ask for episodes for us to do of like, oh, give us advice or whatever, and like have you guys submit your scenarios. And sometimes I feel so weird doing that because I'm like, who's to say I know anything that you guys don't already know? Like, why? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's a little like, listen to me because I know all the answers.
I'm experienced in that.
I have like, no, I don't know. But I guess I can see why it'd be fun.
Do you think that's maybe like a little imposter syndrome-y of you?
Sure. But also, like, I think it's different to ask for advice from your friends or like people you know and know you personally. But like strangers on the internet, why did I say that? Like I was drunk strangers on the internet?
But Am I the Asshole is kind of similar because it's like, it's just more of a scenario that we're chatting about and we're going to,
Right.
you know.
Rightio. Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Also, complete side note, your eyebrows look so good today.
Shut up.
They really do.
They do.
Oh my God, you guys are feeding my ego because I was just, first off,
You're just complaining.
I want to turn there's viewfinders, like little screens above the cameras and all these so I can see myself. And I hate it today, which usually as a Leo, I love to see myself. But today I hate it because I feel like, I don't know, I went skiing yesterday and I was wearing a helmet obviously all day and my hair's like not doing it for me and I feel like I look really pale and I didn't put any makeup on because the foundation I have doesn't match my skin tone right now because I don't have a spray tan and I only have foundation that has like the color for a spray tan, so I didn't wear any foundation. And I just feel like I look ugly. But the fact that you said my eyebrows look good is crazy because I thought my eyebrows were the worst part.
No, dude, like I've been like on my viewfinder, I've been staring at your eyebrows this entire time.
Yeah.
Stop.
They look really,
Yeah, they look great.
they're very sistery today.
Oh, really? Because that was my biggest beef with them earlier doing them is this one, my right eyebrow is really taking me off. This one always,
We all have that one.
it's like so annoying, especially like right here. It always doesn't look filled in enough. And then if I fill it in more, then it looks too filled in. I'm like, ugh, it's really hard.
What do you use for eyebrows?
Life is really hard.
It's really hard.
for me. What do I use?
Yeah.
Boy Brow by Glossier.
Oh, is that like a pencil or is that a...
No, it's just like a pomade. No, not even a pomade. It's like a spoolie, like a...
Okay. Oh, that was a perfect sound.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why don't we watch some of your favorite TikTok videos?
What?
So why don't we watch some of your favorite TikTok videos?
What do you mean?
The mouths and the candy, the crunch.
ASMR.
Oh, those are my Facebook Reel videos.
Oh.
Which, by the way,
You're like, those are private.
that I don't
Facebook
want that
Reel.
to interfere with my because it's like I only watch. Okay, if you guys don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, basically, I'm one of those weirdos that really likes to watch people eat, and like I think it's really satisfying to hear people chew, particularly like really crunchy foods, which I know is the opposite of what many people have out there who like are repulsed by the sound of people eating. That is not me. On my TikTok Reels, or I mean my Facebook Reels or whatever they're called. Are they called Reels? I don't even know.
I think they're called...
know.
Yeah, I think they're called Reels.
Okay, well, whatever they're called on Facebook, all my videos are like ASMR eating videos. But then I got exposed by you two and Kendall like 2 weeks ago because you guys said that this is like a fetish thing, like a sexual thing.
The lips are all like, they have their lips glossy.
Yeah, I just thought
you
it was
know.
like to be pretty looking.
Mm.
Like you don't want to
No.
watch
It's
someone
so
eat with like
zoomed in.
crusty, dusty lips.
Well,
Yeah.
No, I can see how it's a little sexual.
It's okay. It's
And a lot of times they're eating like,
Hot dogs and
like phallic shaped objects.
yeah.
But to
girl.
me, I just like the sound of the crunch.
do you watch it or do you just listen to it?
No, I watch it.
because you kind of like to see the movement.
Yeah.
Does it do anything for you?
Yes, it does. No, it doesn't do anything for me in that sense. It's more so just like kind of relaxing,
Satisfying. Okay.
satisfying to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's like those rug cleaning TikToks.
Yep.
I live for those.
I love those.
If I'm like awake in the middle of the night and I can't fall asleep, I just put on like the longest one I can find and then just watch it
Or
until
like
I
the
fall asleep.
steam, like the steam cleaner ones.
I don't know that one.
Oh, those are good.
Like like when you're cleaning like a bathroom with a steam cleaner?
Yeah,
Everything?
they
Yes.
have those, and then they also have some where they do it on the couch.
Oh.
Ooh.
I like
Yeah.
watching I don't know what it's called, but it's like people have like a huge canvas on the floor and then they poke a hole in the paint the paint can and then they swing it.
throw it.
I
Yeah.
love watching that. It's just so
I
mesmerizing.
want to try it. It looks fun.
It does look fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Tell me what ASMR you guys watch down below.
Tell us your fetishes.
Oh, also, I came across this one that is this woman like pretends she's in school, like playing with your hair, like when you were in grade school. You know, like kids are always like, "Can I play with your hair?"
Yeah.
Like during like the movie day or some
Like,
shit,
yeah.
Library.
or the library. But she like has this mannequin head with like really long hair, and she like brushes it and then like does these little like pretends to play with her hair, like massage this mannequin head or whatever, and then like scratch the mannequin back. This is fucking so weird. I don't know why I'm saying.
I'm going to overlay what you're talking
The
about.
longer I'm talking about this out loud, the more I realize that this is very weird. But it gives me like tingles on my back because I like pretend like I have like someone playing with my hair because nothing feels better
Interesting.
than like someone playing with your hair, you know?
I'm not a big fan of that.
Oh,
Oh my god, I love
What?
it.
Yeah, I think it's just because I have a extremely sensitive scalp.
so it kind of doesn't really feel
It
that
doesn't
good.
do anything for me. Like I don't like it. Like I don't know. I just don't like my head being played with.
Oh,
Mm.
I would love a head massage.
But
Or-
I like the little, like the little head massager we have, like the little prong you
Yeah.
put on your head. I do love that.
Yeah, Sadie did that to my head and it literally sent me into another dimension a couple months back.
Yeah, she was gone.
My eyes rolled back in my head. Geez. Okay. Anyways, yeah, let us know if you guys are into ASMR and if you think it's just really fucking weird. Okay, Karelly found the one that I was talking about. Why does she always show the most boring movies in class? Just like I love having my hair played. Cindy's cringing.
I'm getting like, I'm also like shivering, but in the worst way.
Oh, really? No, I don't have any more gum. You don't like this?
I mean, it's
I'm frozen.
kind of.
Guess what I'm trying on your back.
I don't like the way she talks.
Well, it's like the ASMR voice. Go to the one on the bus. This is that yeah.
That shy girl.
Oh, they hit a bump.
Yeah.
You want to sit next to me? Your hair is so pretty. Can I play with it?
Oh. You don't like that sound?
No, I'm getting like a tingle in like the worst way.
What?
In the worst place.
Listen to this part.
I don't get paid enough for this.
Okay, Sydney, can you just come down here and play with my hair the whole episode?
Usually sit in the back of the bus, right? Yeah, that's where all the cool kids sit. I usually just sit in the front so that no one bothers me.
It's like I'm shaking. I'm literally shaking.
What? Dude, like, just imagine that, but you don't like that, so you wouldn't like
I mean, that would feel good.
yeah.
Maybe if my hair was like not tangled.
Girl, I'm gonna brush through that.
Ugh. Well,
Okay, that's the
Oh.
kind of crap that I was talking about, though.
Wow, that's crazy. That gave me a sensation I don't think I've ever felt before. Like my hand was like shaking.
in a good way.
No.
Oh,
Like in a very like anxiety way. Like
Oh, no.
yeah, you triggered me. I'm kidding.
Everyone's triggered. Fine.
No, that's good for you. I'm happy that you have an escape like that.
Yeah.
I don't come across those videos very often, but the food ones, yes. Or the people eating like mukbangs.
Like Nikocado?
Yeah. Oh my God. My favorite I don't watch Nikocado. That's like too much.
Yeah.
That really grosses
My
me out.
favorite mukbang type of thing to
What is
watch.
mukbang?
Oh, I just kicked something really hard under the table. There's an extra mic under here and I just kicked it really hard.
Oh, shit. Ow. And you're not wearing shoes.
No. My favorite though is people ordering sushi takeout and then like doing like sushi haul and then like trying different sushis.
Okay. I don't like listening to people eat though because I feel like it's invasive. You know what I mean?
Why?
I don't know. Maybe because I'm self-conscious of how I eat, which I eat like a normal person.
Yeah, you're always asking me, like when in our office.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't even notice that she's eating.
I asked Sydney, I'm like, hey, am I chewing too loud? Or like,
Really?
I'm
I've never
very-
noticed that.
really? I don't know. I'm very like aware of
Interesting.
chewing.
I'm
like-
probably chewing real loud.
No, not always.
Yeah, I don't even think about it.
Yeah, no.
That's crazy.
There are a bunch of people in my high school that like girls that like wouldn't eat in front of guys. They're like embarrassed to eat. Like, okay, I'm gonna roast this hoe for a second. Just kidding. She's not a hoe. I'm sure she's a very nice woman. I don't know anything about her now, but she was dating John back before I snatched his ass up. And they would go, we had like an open campus where you could like leave and go wherever during your off periods or whatever. And they would go to different restaurants. And he told me that she would refuse to eat lunch in front of him. So he would just sit there, or she would just sit there with him while he was eating and like refuse to eat lunch.
So she wouldn't even order food.
No.
Okay, I
She wouldn't
kind of
eat.
had like, this is a weird thing that I have is that when we're in like a group setting, like for example, our work lunches
Yeah.
or whatever, I never end up like eating my
No,
food.
you don't. You take
I'm
like
just-
one bite of food.
I know I'm so bad at it because I'm like, first of all, sometimes I'm like listening to people and I just can't, like it truly shows me that I have ADHD. Like I can't eat, listen.
Like
and,
even if you
know.
go out to dinner with you don't eat anything. I'm like, hello.
Like even for our Galentine's Day,
Yes,
Sydney,
I feel like I just have a hard time in a group because I'm like talking.
You need to
So.
go to the bathroom, scarf it down. Just kidding.
But even like I just take I take a long time to eat.
I'm a slow eater. I'm a very slow eater.
Yeah.
Like I could have a burrito on my desk all day.
Oh, I know.
Do you remember the one on Monday?
Yeah,
that
she had
Sydney
like
dissected.
Yeah, like a dissected burrito is just rotting on her desk all day.
Oh shit, I forgot to throw that away.
No, is it still on her desk?
No. Yeah, see, I eat things weird sometimes. Like I don't pick it up and eat it like a.
See, I have a really bad habit of like ordering food, and I don't like eating food when it's hot. Like I like coldish food. Like I like my food room to like cold temp.
Hell no.
And like when I go get food, like when I get like delivery and stuff, I'll usually wait like an hour or two to eat it. I don't know why. Like it's just
Interesting.
yeah. Yeah.
You're sensitive to the temps.
Sensitive scalps, sensitive mouth, sensitive girl.
You looked down when you said girl, like you're talking about. Never mind.
Oh, no,
I think
like
I'm
I'm
gonna
a
be done with this.
sensitive girl.
Never mind.
Sensitive girl.
Let's start off with a little Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for helping a friend in a bad situation on my wife's birthday? I, 28 male, have a friend called Sarah, who is a 28-year-old female whom I've known since childhood and has been there for me my whole life. I owe her my life, and she's always been my go-to when I've had problems. I want to make this clear. Romantic feelings have never been involved. We have a brother-sister relationship. My wife, who is a 29-year-old female, has never liked Sarah since I had her as the best woman at my wedding. Oh, that's cute. She calls her a pick-me. It's giving insecure. She even suggested I cut her out of my life when she becomes pregnant with her first child, but we worked through it in couples therapy. The relationship got better when Sarah got married last year, but unfortunately, Sarah's husband just got up and left pregnant Sarah, which has made her mental health spiral. Since Sarah has always been there for me, I've stepped up for her by taking her to appointments, building the nursery, and even promising to be with her when she gives birth. She grew up in foster care with no family. Oh my God, that's so sad. My wife has become extremely hostile to Sarah, which has caused fights. To make up for not being there as much as I should, I planned a special birthday for my wife, a whole day and night being treated like a celebrity with a fancy hotel, dinner in an expensive restaurant, shopping trip, and spa. Okay, I love that. Unfortunately, Sarah went into labor 6 weeks early and rang me in a bad state, begging me to come to the hospital because she was scared. I told my wife everything, and she started to freak out, saying it was her day. Sarah wasn't going to ruin it. I told her to stop being selfish. We can celebrate another time, or she could ask a friend to go. Then she told me not to come home without a paternity test, which hurt me. I'd never do that to her, but she wasn't listening. She just left without saying a word. I'm currently with Sarah in the delivery ward. Well, I'm getting a cup of coffee. That's why the story is rushed. I've been getting so many angry calls and texts from both our families and friends, unfortunately. I tried getting in touch with my wife, but I'm blocked on everything. I feel like helping a vulnerable person in a situation like this trumps a birthday, but I still feel guilty. Am I the asshole? Sorry, I saw the word Trump and got...
I know, I saw it. No, same.
I was like, why is he being brought into this? Okay. What?
It's a lot to unpack.
You know what would be really fun is if one of you decided to play devil's advocate for every single one, even if you actually believe it or not.
Okay, if we do that, no comments in the comment section saying that we're bad people for the...
No, okay, so this is what we'll do. We're making it clear. Disclaimer. Who wants to do it? I think we should.
Okay,
You'll play devil's advocate. Okay. So Sydney's going to play devil's advocate for, like, because I feel like this one's pretty obvious of what it is, but I think...
Oh, really?
You don't think so? Oh, well, I mean, and also... Okay, wait, hold on. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Okay, so I feel like Sydney should play devil's advocate for all the scenarios. Disclaimer. This is just for fun, and she probably doesn't actually feel this way and doesn't have these problematic thoughts in real life. Okay, so no one fucking come for her in the comments. This is just for a joke and for fun. Yes. My second point is that there may be scenarios where us three actually disagree, which is totally fine as well. And it sounds like maybe this is actually one of them, because to me, this is a no fucking brainer.
Really?
Yeah.
Who, he's asshole? Or the wife? What do you think?
No, I don't think he's an asshole. His friend from childhood, who is like a sister to him, has no family, is pregnant with some dude who fucking bailed on her, and she went into like essentially emergency delivery.
I will say, I don't think he's the asshole. I think it's the situation sucks for everyone involved, because I mean, as the wife, I can understand why she's feeling a little insecure. He's kind of like, well, I guess your birthday, you can celebrate your birthday any other day. You can't really celebrate a labor any other day. Or not celebrate, but you can't be there
I think
for a
that's
labor.
Incredibly selfish to do to someone. And also, just to start off, calling her a pick-me, I think is pretty lame from the wife to do. I mean, again, we don't really know their relationship, but just judging it based on this.
But what if she has a feeling where, like, maybe I know he said there's not really romantic feelings from his side, but what if she has a feeling that, like, there are some romantic feelings, and, like, what if
the wife has a feeling that there's romantic feelings?
Yeah, between Sarah and husband.
Well, then she needs to address that.
That's where open communication.
This person said they want to make this clear: romantic feelings have never been involved. We have a brother-sister relationship. If there is no reason to believe that, and the wife just feels like that, that's probably her own insecurity talking.
Yeah. Okay, I do see that. Damn. Okay.
And I think that it's lame to get pissed off. Like, your husband is trying to do something nice for your birthday and, like, make it a special day. He's bringing you on a shopping spree, nice dinner, hotel, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And while that sucks that it just so happened that the Sarah person is going into labor on the same day, like, that totally sucks. And I could see how you'd be bummed, but, like, bummed enough to block that person?
Yeah, that is definitely fair.
That's so pathetic.
You can just, like, change the date. Just, like, do it a different day.
Right. Or
wait, Cindy, that's like devil's advocate.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I'm trying. This is a hard one now.
No, because I see where you're coming from. Because at first, when I first read this, I was a little bit more on the wife's side. She doesn't have any other friends.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you would think, like, hopefully she has at least one other person in her life. But she says she has no family. Her husband got up and left.
That is really sad. I think he's in a really complicated situation because he feels torn between choosing his best friend, who he's known from childhood, who is like a sister, and his wife. So I think for him, like, no matter which way, even if he, like, were to ditch his friend, like, that would cause problems between him and Sarah, right?
Totally. He's in a tough spot.
He's in a really tough spot. Because it's like, at that point, which relationship it would be easier to mend?
I get the argument of, no, your husband or wife or partner or whatever should come before everything else. And I agree with that for the most part. But I also think there's something to be said of like, that's a little controlling, and it's giving very much like, what else? Like, what is the real reason you have such a problem with him being friends with this person who he has known for his whole life and is claiming to be brother and sister? Again, we don't really know the full scenario. There could be things that he isn't telling us that would make us think, oh, it's more than just like brother, sister. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But based on what he says, it's like, I think you need to evaluate your own insecurities at that point.
I agree. And I do want to know what happened between Sarah and wife for them to have like this hostile relationship with each other.
Right. Because maybe Sarah did something that like crossed a boundary in wife, and that's why wife is pissed. And like, if that's the case, then, you know, it's a different story.
I wonder if they had just like discussed him being there for the delivery and stuff before the husband left.
I think they did. Well, not before the husband left, I don't think.
But like,
After.
discussing that, and if he told his wife and his wife was uncomfortable with that, then I think that should have been a conversation that happened, and like kind of putting up like boundaries or like parameters to make sure that, you know, the wife isn't as offended, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point, because
he's not responsible for Sarah.
right.
You
No,
know what I
that's
mean?
a good point. And I'm wondering, it sounds like it wasn't really the plan for him to be there. And it just Sarah kind of just sprung it on him, and he felt like, oh, I have to go because she has no one else.
He literally said, I owe her my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. Then why aren't you
That's
just married to her?
But that's intent. No, but I don't think that's true. You can,
yeah, I mean, you can have friends,
like,
but
you have no idea what that really means, you know?
no, I don't.
Like, he could have been in a horrible situation and she could have literally saved his life. Who fucking knows?
That's, yeah.
I think
yeah.
you can say that without having, like, romantic feelings.
Yeah.
No, Sydney, you're supposed to disagree.
I know, but what am I supposed to say? No. This is a hard one because I agree with you guys. I think that his wife is an asshole, to be honest.
I think it's just kind of like...
And it also, to me, I just don't understand, like, if you, like, why are, like, Sarah's not going anywhere, clearly, so...
What do you mean?
That's what I mean. If I was the wife, I'd be like, well, shit. Because it's, like, clear that Sarah's been around from the beginning.
Would
so.
you, okay, so if you were a wife in the situation, would you be pissed?
No, I wouldn't be mad, but I personally, like...
Would you be a little hurt?
I'm, like, I have more jealous feelings than I am, like, someone... I'm just gonna admit that. But so I'd have a weird time if Jared had like a really, really good, like a best girlfriend. That would kind of bother me.
What if she was in labor and Jared's like, sorry, babe, I gotta go because Julia is giving birth and I gotta
Probably be like,
with
does
her.
she have anybody else? Why you? But
I think it's an added layer that it's her birthday.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, did Sarah pick this day to go into labor?
No. Oh my God.
No, I'm
kidding.
kidding.
Sounds like Sarah is causing the problems.
Damn.
That was some devil's advocate.
Would you make
Jared come
husband
home with
with a paternity test? That's crazy
Okay, that's crazy.
to ask for a paternity test.
Wait, did she do that?
Well, the wife said, "Don't come home unless."
Oh,
you
you're
have
right. Without a paternity test. Sorry. Sometimes when I'm reading, I don't fully absorb. And I'm reading this for the first time, so I get my raw reaction. Sometimes I forget about certain parts. Yeah, that.
I think this goes way deeper than this issue here.
That's what I'm saying. And like, that part makes me think that maybe there was some sort of romantic history with them. Either that or the wife is genuinely just like
Insecure.
just insecure and just doing that just to like,
Yeah.
Big job.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, honestly. This is now I'm kind of like going back and oh my word. No, I still think that he's not an asshole, just based on what we're reading here.
Yeah.
How would you feel if it was you?
I think that if John grew up with someone who he has known his entire life and they really did grow up like brother and sister, because like there are some people who literally have
Fully platonic. Yeah.
yeah, and like they grew up with them, and maybe I don't know what this dude's childhood was like, and maybe she was like a really pivotal. I mean, he literally says I owe my life to her.
Right.
So I guess what my point is if John had someone who he considered his sister, and she was in a really tough spot, and I genuinely, wholeheartedly felt that...
But you didn't like her because wife doesn't like
Right,
Sarah.
but I'm like wondering why she doesn't like her. Like, is there a good reason, or are you just being insecure?
Right.
And just not liking her because of what your own problems. You know what I mean?
Right.
In the right scenario, I would be fine with it. But I don't know if that's the same scenario that we're reading about. So, okay, my final verdict is I don't think you're the asshole, because he's asking, am I the asshole for helping a friend in a bad situation on my wife's birthday? I don't think so.
No.
Karelly, what do you think?
I don't think he's an asshole. I think everyone's very valid in their feelings and their response to the situation.
Except Sarah.
I'm just kidding. Here's the devil.
We should make you wear little horns. Why is it called devil's advocate? It's a fucking stupid term. All right. So the verdict is in. Not an asshole. Am I the asshole for letting my chronically late wife miss an event she was looking forward to by not rushing her because I wanted her to face consequences? My wife, 32-year-old female, and I, 31-year-old male, have been together for 5 years. I'm fed up with my wife's chronic lateness to many things. It's really annoying and gets on my nerves. To her, it seems like no big deal because I always manage to rush her by telling her the time of an event 45 minutes earlier. She's never noticed earlier because she's too caught up with herself, constantly taking photos. That's the reason she's always late.
She's a Leo.
She's probably a fucking Leo. Side note, I wish I was like better at taking selfies because like I feel like that's just a Leo thing.
Yeah. Dude,
I never selfie.
Same. I need to learn how to like techniques. Like I need techniques for
Some people are
selfies.
so good at it. Like Haley is so good at a selfie. I can't fucking do it.
Also, the camera doesn't like me. Like,
that's not true.
A little bit. Like it
doesn't like me this close up.
I don't know why. I'm not a very photogenic person. I think I look better in person. I look better in person though. I think
You're gorgeous in person.
Oh, thank you. But like, I don't know. I need to take selfie lessons.
Sooner or later, they're going to have those. They probably already do.
There's already a course for that.
Yeah.
She has a decent following on Instagram and is looking to grow as a content creator. I find it really silly how she turns everything we do into a photo session. And at this point, I've stopped agreeing to take her photos altogether.
Damn.
We've had several conversations about this. I've told her that it's mentally exhausting for me to always have to stay on top of making sure we both get ready according to plan. But she never really does anything to address it. Damn. No more photos. Okay. This time, I wanted her to experience the consequences of her actions. This month alone, we've been embarrassingly late to events 2 times, and this time was the first she realized I hadn't been honest about the timing because I used to give her an ETA 40 minutes earlier. A week ago, I told her I wouldn't be doing that anymore, and that I expected her to act like an adult and be more responsible. Enough with the fucking selfies. It was her birthday this weekend, and I got her tickets to an event featuring several performers, including her favorite artist in the first act. This time, as I already told her before, I didn't give her the extra 40-minute buffer. I expected her to remember our conversation and to store that information in her head to plan accordingly. Side note, why would you do this on their birthday?
Yeah.
I think that's like
you can do it any other day.
Like do it any other, like on their birthday, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Instead, she did her whole influencer routine, decorating her room, setting up studio lights, dressing up, and taking photos. The whole time, I knew she was missing out on her favorite artist because she didn't take me seriously. It was so ironic that I didn't even feel like reminding her. I'm done with the mental burden of always rushing and planning. We arrived and she realized what happened, and she got upset, started crying, and asking how I could do this to her on her birthday. She said it seemed like I was liking the rise it got from her and asked why I couldn't set my ego aside for one day. I told her this was on her. I already made it clear I wasn't going to rush anymore, and she should have listened the first time and expected me to follow through, unlike her. She said the whole point of this event was to see the performers of those artists who we had just missed. She was incredibly upset and kept crying off and on during the event. The ride home was awkward. I was in the downstairs restroom when she texted me saying I wasn't welcome in the bedroom that night. Yikes.
Oh.
I ignored her message and went in while she was changing. She looked like she was going to kill me. I simply told her that saying I'm not welcome was irrelevant because it's my room too. If she's uncomfortable, she should take the couch.
Not on her birthday.
And you did it at my birthday dinner. She ended up leaving. She ended up leaving to visit her mom, and I'm considering whether I was an asshole.
I think this is unanimous. Wait, Devil, what do you think?
Oh, she's an asshole.
Why?
She constantly makes him late, and like it's annoying that she has to, or he has to like manage the plans and like get her.
But she's an influencer.
I would be like, do your influencing within the time, accordingly. And I shouldn't have to tell you when we need to leave. And,
What if it wasn't her birthday?
I mean, I think it was good it was on her birthday, really. She won't forget it. Maybe. Maybe she'll be on time.
So he's like, that's what you get, bitch.
Set an alarm or something,
It's not, yeah. I mean, but also someone who's chronically late. Like,
What do you think, Karelly?
I think that it's a little silly of him to like have chosen to do this on her birthday.
Yeah, that's my problem.
But don't you think he did it on her birthday because then she's going to be like, okay, he's really not messing around.
He's like, it's another year older. Time for you to grow up.
He's like, yeah, he's
Learn
like,
a
grow the
hard
fuck up.
lesson.
Yeah. But also, he's not her dad. So, like, I guess this isn't his responsibility to be like, I think there's a nice median they can come to. Like, it's nice of him to tell her that, their plans are 40 minutes ahead of time, so she's ready. He could have just done this another day and just, like, be there for your wife. Like, I don't know. Like, is it really that much of a mental burden to tell her 40 minutes before?
Here's my argument. I could see how that would be really fucking annoying if you're generally an on-time person and you're with someone who is always fucking late. It's basically up to you to essentially lie to this person in order to not be late. Like, that is super annoying.
Yeah.
However, I think it's so fucked up. You did that on her birthday to an event that she was like really looking forward to.
Yeah.
Started off by doing it to her during an event that's like not detrimental to her happiness if she misses it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then like he kind of ruined her birthday.
Totally ruined her birthday.
Like
Yeah.
he, she told him don't come to bed. She told like the ride home was awkward. Like there was a way to do this.
Yeah.
And not.
Hopefully she got a good selfie.
Yeah.
She's like, it's my birthday.
How good was the selfie though, girl?
She's 32 years old, okay? I mean...
Okay. Maybe if you're 22, maybe I'd give you more of a pass.
But when you're 32,
you need to grow up at that point and be on time. And like, you need to like be respectful of other people's times. Actually, now that I'm saying this out loud, that makes more sense to me is like that she's kind of the asshole because like she's not respecting other people's times. And like,
she's not even respecting her husband's time.
That's true. I take back what I said earlier.
Okay, so can we agree that he was an asshole for doing it on her birthday to an event she really cared about, but perhaps not an asshole of the overall like premise
Message.
of what he's doing? Yeah.
Yes, I agree with that.
I feel like an asshole saying this, but this chick sounds like she's been doing this like nonstop, always. Like for 5 years, she's got to take all these photos, the studio lights, all that stuff. Why you think I just don't think. I mean, again, I think this is something within their marriage. But
Sydney's like, why doesn't she have as many followers?
I don't know. I personally think that she's not going to change unless you really.
So you agree?
I kind of think doing it on the birthday was
okay,
painful but needed.
Great. Painful but needed.
Painful but needed. Verdict?
Again, that's just plain devil's advocate.
Painful but needed. Thank you.
I would be so bummed.
Dude, I would be pissed.
Yeah.
I would be
but like
I actually am really late all the time. And if Jared is like, we're literally going to miss this, like
you'd get your ass up.
Yeah, he'd probably be like, okay, we need to leave now. But then if he just like didn't say anything, I would be like, I don't know.
Yeah, and your spouse isn't your parent. So,
right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But is he enabling her? Okay, wait.
Oh.
Wait, we're not done with this. Hold on, let me reread part of it just to make sure that I'm not confused.
Also, why doesn't she keep track of time?
Actually, no, I take back. I was going to say, are you enabling it because you basically are lying to her about the 40-minute thing or whatever, and it's a constant problem?
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe you should have tried to resolve this. But it sounds like he has. He says that they've had multiple conversations, and I've told her that it's mentally exhausting, blah, blah, blah. So it sounds like he has tried, and she doesn't care.
Yeah.
Would you do this to somebody?
Not on their birthday.
But if it was just, say, not on their birthday?
Yeah. Sure. If it was something like
a dinner
reservation, and they were like continuously doing this, and I felt like if it wasn't for me, they would never be on time. That's annoying and selfish, in my opinion, and rude to do to your partner. or whoever else is involved in this event.
Yeah.
So I probably would.
Are you guys late to places?
Yes, but not as bad as I used to, I would say.
Like late? Okay, what's late? Late is like 10 minutes later than scheduled?
I'd say 10 minutes.
But like,
Do you think that it's like for a party at someone's house, do you think you have to be there right on time at the party?
I think it depends on the party.
the type of party?
I would say generally no. If it's a surprise party, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if it's like a whatever Christmas party or something, I don't think no.
I think between 10 and 15 minutes. Well, it depends on what it is. It's like getting dinner with people. Like, I think it's kind of rude if you're just like always late.
Yeah, I think
If
that's
everyone-
rude.
But if like you are running late once in a while, like I think that's fine.
If you're more than 30 minutes late, though, that's extremely rude.
That's incredibly rude.
Yeah.
I think even 20 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would
Is
say
pushing
anything
like,
more than
that's
15.
a major problem.
Yeah.
in my eyes, like of
Like what if like you and John were meeting another couple? Would it be less?
and you're 30 minutes late. I would be fucking pissed if that couple came 30 minutes late.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless they had like a reason.
Well, yeah, obviously.
But like if they're like, oh sorry, we're just running late.
30 and like
It was like a pattern.
can't give you like. And let me be clear. Obviously, I know things come up and like whatever. But what I'm saying is, I think it's rude when people just like 30 minutes is kind
And
of
when
a
it
lot.
happens
Yeah.
all
And when
like,
it happens all the
multiple
time,
times.
it's like, really, dude?
like you're yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I agree.
Okay.
Painful but needed.
What?
Painful but needed.
Painful but needed.
As Cindy said.
Mhm. Okay, this one is advice. What subreddit is this from? Like,
There's like a ask
advice?
advice, like you can ask advice one.
okay. Here we go. We're giving away our $1 million advice. My favorite band is on tour and scheduled a show for Valentine's Day in a city near us. When this was announced several months ago, I excitedly suggested that we get tickets. We still had a lot of time to find a sitter that we liked and get more comfortable leaving our baby with them. My husband agreed and bought the tickets. As the date grew closer, I couldn't stop talking about how much this night would mean to me. This was going to be a night for us to have fun, reconnect after months of talking about nothing else other than our baby, and feel like the old us for just a few hours. Being on Valentine's Day was a secondary consideration, but of course, that day holds a special meaning on top of everything else. We found a sitter we loved. This is a huge deal a night out alone to see my all-time favorite musicians. Day of the show, husband and I both have work off and the baby is at daycare. My husband makes us mimosas and breakfast, sweet start to the day. Fuck yeah, mimosas and breakfast, baby. My husband continues to drink after mimosas, beer after beer after beer, more beer on the train to the show.
Damn.
I had more beer at dinner down the street from the venue. This is when I finally noticed that he wasn't just excited like I was, but he was drunk. He asked me a question. What time does the show start again? And I answered. 60 seconds later, he asked me the same question, forgetting that we had just had this conversation. This goes on all through dinner, over and over again. Walking to the venue, I ask if he is okay and if he will make it through the show, which is a mistake. He snapped. Accuses me of doing drugs at some point in the evening, despite me being with him the entire time. Screaming at me on the street that he can't believe I'd do something like that. I'm floored. I have no idea how to respond to something so ridiculous, but he is so drunk, he isn't listening to anything I'm saying. I try my best to remain calm, hoping we can save the night. Get inside the venue, he's screaming at me. I can't believe you did cocaine. And what the fuck is going on? And drawing looks from everyone around us. I'm pleading with him to understand why this is such a wild thing to say. He wouldn't listen. He storms out and says he is going home. I am in an impossible situation because I can't let him go home and be the only adult to relieve the babysitter and be home alone with our baby, so I have to follow. Pleading the whole time, begging him, he won't listen. I end up getting us an Uber because he can't figure out how to get his own. On the Uber ride home, he tells me he is going to call my mother and tell her I did drugs. I'm floored. My mother would be wildly confused and worried if he were to do this, so I called her and explained what was going on. She hears how badly my husband is slurring. I don't think she will ever look at him the same again. We get home, and I try to sleep on the couch. He doubles down and calls me a terrible mother right before going to the bedroom. I couldn't even look at him today, which is the next day, and have not said a word to him in 15 hours. I'm disgusted. I don't know what to do or how to address this. I don't know how to forgive him. My family certainly won't. I don't know whether to address the drinking or drug accusations or what. I need some advice. The fuck?
It sounds like he did cocaine.
Yeah, what? You have major problems.
Yep.
With this dude. This dude has major problems and you have him now a major problem on your hands.
Yeah.
I wonder if he gets drunk all like what? Okay, say he hasn't been drinking maybe because they just had a baby.
Yeah.
And so first night out, he takes it too far. Maybe he didn't mean to do this and just blacked out and said a few things he shouldn't have.
I don't know about that because, which I appreciate your argument, Sydney, devil's advocate. I will counter that by saying, if you get so blacked out that you start saying really unhinged shit like that, like that's a bigger problem in itself. Like
Yeah.
I feel like everyone has had an experience where they're like, oh, I was really drunk and like made a fool of myself to some degree, but like this is on a different level.
For him to call her mom and tell her that she's doing drugs,
Yeah.
like completely unprovoked.
Yeah, that's horrific.
Yeah.
She wants advice. What should she do?
Drop him.
What do you think, Sid?
I'd advise him to needs to get some help. Maybe. I don't know. The thing is, I don't know if he does this all the time, but
I wonder if he was like this before the baby. Like if he was like, drinking like this excessively. Like this
Yeah, that
guy
was my
started
question.
drinking at like breakfast time and is drinking all through the day into the night.
Yeah, it's making me believe that he may have a problem or had one
Yeah.
before the baby. And, maybe he wasn't drinking for the last several months or whatever. But now that he has a chance to, he like got too excited and just like couldn't handle himself.
Yeah.
what if you said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Like, will you forgive me? Would you just like forgive him and like move on?
I think they should. I think it sounds like he has like a addiction issue. Like I don't want to
or
be.
you could just have a day of drinking.
That's true. But
She's like, Jared blacks out and starts screaming at me in the parking lot.
I mean, you have mimosas and then
they have a beer and then another beer and then another beer
and then another beer.
and then they go to dinner and then get another beer. He's had an entire day of drinking. It's not a crazy thought to think that he might have used some kind of substance
Right.
to keep it going.
Right.
Which is like, at that point, you're so drunk. Are you just kind of calling yourself out for doing drugs?
Right.
You know what I mean? When like he's the one on drugs.
Yeah. 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 I don't know.
But
I don't know.
This is like a total fluke. Like, he's like, I don't know what came over me.
He should have talked to her though. Like after the next day, he should have, if he knew that he fucked up this bad or had an idea of him getting blackout drunk.
He like just
He
doesn't remember.
Yeah, I'm like, what? You're just going on the next day as if nothing happened.
She doesn't really say anything like how he acted the next day, but she said that she refuses to even look at him. But if I were him, I'd be like, oh no, I fucked up.
Yeah, and then
Something happened.
Yeah, you should be getting her flowers and maybe a little like mani pedi, like something. Like
Yeah,
also,
that's pretty horrific what you
that
did
is.
to someone.
That is 100%.
Like that is very, very mean.
and I'm not saying like gifts fix anything. I'm just saying like if you fucked up, like you do something to try
Or
to like
address
resolve
it.
or talk
Yeah,
to
or
her.
take accountability and be like,
Yeah.
I am so sorry for my despicable behavior. That will not happen again. And here's how I'm going to make sure that
I
it
feel so
doesn't
bad
happen.
for her. She went really like she was super pumped to see that band.
And
yeah.
like it was their first night out as new parents.
Yeah, it's fucked up. I don't know. I think like your best bet is to like see, it's hard because this is why it's so annoying to give advice to like complete like randos on the internet who you don't even know their backstory, because your advice could be completely useless to this specific scenario. Because what I would say is have a conversation with him and be like, you acted completely out of control last night. You embarrassed me and hurt my feelings and whatever.
There's
And
problems within the family.
yeah, and there's problems within the family, blah blah blah. But maybe that's not. Maybe it's they have other issues that wouldn't actually be the best thing to do, and maybe she should like make him go to therapy or seek
some kind of help
to some degree. God, yeah, that's first night after having a baby is really fucked up to do. I mean, it's fucked up to do regardless.
But you're right. I wonder if like maybe he did have an issue before.
Right.
Just like from what we're reading, it does kind of seem like maybe he, like I'm not going to be like this guy was not. Obviously we have no idea, but just like from his actions, it did seem like he was like overzealous to like drink
all
again
day.
and all day. Like that's like those are tendencies,
especially because you do have a kid at home that you have to take care of. So in my mind, you'd be like, well, I have to get up the next day and
Your
deal with my
responsibilities,
kid.
Yeah, your responsibilities don't just like dissipate because you're drinking. Like you still have to go home that night, relieve the babysitter, and be a dad.
Exactly. So it makes me wonder if perhaps there's like more issues than what we know about.
That's embarrassing for her too. I feel bad for her.
Yeah, I feel that's so ugh. Yeah, it's horrible. And the fact that he called her mom and was like, "Oh, she did drugs." He sounds like he has a lot of deep-rooted issues, and I would demand that he gets help. That's the advice I would give you.
Yeah.
Whether that's like therapy, rehab, group work, I don't know, whatever. I mean, depending on the scenario, but I would not just be like, oh, I would not chalk this up to just a drunk night that got a little out of hand.
Yeah.
Like that, this is far worse than that. And I think that this is showing that there's like a major problem.
Because like, what if he does it again? Like the next time you guys go out, or if he goes out, like, can you trust him to?
I agree. Yeah, I feel bad for her. Okay, now we're going to do, what is it called?
Am I overreacting?
Am I overreacting? Okay. It says, I know this conversation seems extremely childish, but I, a female 18 years old, have been friends with this girl for 2 years, and she loves starting shit with people for no reason. So I kind of assume she's doing the same to me here. Would I be overreacting if I dropped her? As in, like, stopped being friends with her. Okay, Sydney's going to read, this is the friend.
The snap you sent me this morning was a bit disturbing.
What?
You looked high off your head and shallow.
Girl, I smoked a joint. That was all.
It's just a bit odd, that's all.
How is it odd?
It freaks me out. Can't you stop?
No, I only do it once or twice a week. I don't do it excessively.
You're borderline a junkie.
Do you even know what a junkie is? I'm far from that.
If you say so, genuinely get a life.
I don't know if you're trying to be concerned about me, but you're coming off bitchy. I have more than a life than you in all aspects. Okay.
How?
I actually have a job. I have a way better social life than you, and I do better in school than you, and I actually take care of myself and go to the gym. I could say more, but in conclusion, I don't need a lecture from you.
All that cancels out since you smoke.
What are you actually going on about? Why are you suddenly coming at me? I've smoked around you before, and you've never opened your mouth. I do it occasionally to take the edge off things.
Because of your dad leaving last year?
No, why are you bringing him up? Describe for the people who aren't listening.
Oh, the emoji like this, like what?
No, that's not.
Oh. Wait, isn't it?
It's like the shrugging. Shrugging.
Oh, I don't know.
She goes, the emoji like this. That's how people who are listening.
Okay.
No, it's like the shrug emoji. And then well, keep his name out your mouth, you tramp. I don't know if you're doing all this, but you're pissing me off. This is, I think I just lost 12. Karelly, why the fuck did you have me read this?
She's okay. Her friend's
I don't know what's going on.
Her friend's calling her a junkie. And she's like, I only smoke a joint, maybe 2 a week. Maybe twice a week.
I think this is like rage bait. This is stupid.
Well, they're also 18 years old.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Because your dad leaving last year?
That's a low blow. Why would you bring up the dad? I would drop this friend.
You would drop them?
Yeah. They just start shit to start shit.
Yeah, I would drop their asses. Bye. That sounds like a really annoying ass friend.
I don't think you're overreacting.
It sounds like a shitty friend. Fucking don't text them back and move on. You're literally 18 years old. This is the dumbest thing I've ever read in my entire life. Karelly, why did you put this in here?
Okay, this is kind of like all of the, am I overreacting? Most of them are kind of like these like.
What? You told me like earlier, like, oh my God, these are so funny. These are so good.
I thought they're good.
No, I'm just a little bit questionable.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'll never do that again.
Okay. Am I overreacting? My roommate secretly set up a camera in our common area without telling anyone. My roommate set up a camera in our kitchen because she thought our roommate was stealing her food. She never told any of us. I understand that stealing food is wrong and irritating, but I think taking a drastic measure like this is downright insane and a violation of our privacy. Okay, here's the text. Dude, I think we seriously need to talk about all of this when I get back. You set up a camera? Question mark.
Yes, and clearly for good reason. I caught blank stealing and eating my food several times. I agree we need to talk about this and figure out how to move forward. I can't live in a space with people I don't trust and who don't respect clear boundaries. All caps. I think we should consider proposing that blank move out and find a subletter for the summer.
I think the bigger issue is you set up a camera in our common space without discussing it with any of us. Stealing food aside, I think the bigger issue here is making sure you delete all the camera footage. Question. When did you even set that up?
I don't think there's a way to set aside the food stealing. I had my suspicions, and they were confirmed when I set up the camera. I'll take it down now that it's served its purpose, but my trust is completely violated.
Your trust is violated? You feel like your boundaries were crossed? You set up a camera without any of us knowing. Do you understand how insane that is?
My boundaries were violated first when my food started disappearing. I had no choice but to retaliate and stand up for myself because nobody would confess. This has been going on since we moved in and could have all been sorted out if blank had just been honest. Also, if you have nothing to hide, why does a camera make you so uncomfortable? I would never share the footage with anyone, obviously, and it's in our kitchen near the door and could be used for security purposes.
Dude, I literally cannot have this conversation with you. This is actually insane. We can discuss in person when I get home.
You hate this. You hate this subreddit.
I hate this subreddit.
It's
I'm
okay.
so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. This is our first time doing it. So
Okay.
maybe
Maybe the people will like it. I don't think you're overreacting. I'd be fucking furious if someone put up a camera in the house that I lived in and didn't tell me.
Yeah.
I think that's a major invasion of privacy, regardless if food is being stolen. That's also a problem. But I don't think the argument of like, well, we need to sort through who's stealing the food, that's why I put up the camera, is valid.
They only did it because their food was being taken.
Right. Okay.
Like, what's so violating of you being recorded of going in and out of the door?
I think if I had been told I was being recorded, I'd be okay.
No, I would not be okay
I don't
with
think
it.
I'd be okay with it either. If I was told I was being recorded, I would have less of a reaction like this. But like the fact that, I don't know, like what if you're like picking a wedgie in front of a camera?
Yeah,
or, like,
what if you walked up
what
with
if
no
you-
pants?
Right. Like what if you're just like in a vulnerable situation, in a vulnerable position, and like this person who, I mean, your roommate has like footage of you that you don't even know about. Like
being secretly recorded in your house, which is supposed to be the safest space you have, is horribly violating.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean,
What? Do you record Jared? You probably have cameras set up right now.
no, yeah,
Pull up
yeah.
the cams.
Pull the
I do.
cams.
No, I think it's wrong to record.
Am I the asshole for bringing sister-in-law's wallet to the restaurant when she conveniently always forgets it? By the way, they're 28 and 26 years old. My sister-in-law, Amy, always comes to visit from out of town. She stays with us instead of a hotel and always wants to go to expensive restaurants. She always conveniently forgets her wallet or comes up with some excuse as to why she can't pay her share. She has implied that since I make more money than her, I should be the one to pay. No, not my husband should pay, but me specifically. I do make a fair amount of money, but not so much that I can treat someone every time they come into town. Nonetheless, in the past, I have just paid the bill and asked her to pay me back, but she never has. She had made a reservation at an extremely expensive restaurant last night, and before we left, I made it clear that I wouldn't be paying her bill. This is where I might be the asshole, and I'll admit I got this move straight from an episode of 2.5 Men.
Have you watched that?
Love that show.
Do you really?
Well, back when I was a kid, I did. I thought it was funny.
Never watched her.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a good show. Except for what's his face is like a fucking piece of shit.
Who's even in that? Is that Tim Allen?
No.
No.
It's
Oh, Michael Sheen or Charlie Sheen,
Charlie
right?
Sheen.
Yeah.
Michael Sheen.
Yeah, I watch it here and there.
Yeah, I used to like it. Men.
Oh, yes.
Men. I honestly forgot that show even existed. Okay. So as we were leaving, she and my husband went to the car. I pretended I had forgotten something and went back inside. I found her wallet sitting right on top of her suitcase. I put it in my purse and we went to the restaurant. When we were done eating, I asked for separate bills and she said, no, we need one bill because she forgot her wallet again. I reached in my purse and said, this wallet? She was extremely furious. She said that I should not have touched or grabbed her wallet. So am I the asshole for taking her wallet and bringing it to the restaurant?
No.
Yeah.
No, she's not. No. What do you think? Do you know?
No, I don't think she's the asshole. I think it's like I think it's kind of a warranted asshole move.
Same. Okay, actually, on the real, I don't think she's an asshole.
What you did is kind of savage. It's like,
Would you do that?
Yes.
Over and over.
I would do it depending on the person. Like if I knew them pretty well, I would do it.
Yeah.
And they kept doing that to me, I'd be like, what the fuck? That's so annoying. So I would do it. If it was someone I didn't know well, probably not.
But then after that, you'd probably cut them off.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's kind of a dick move, but it's warranted.
Okay, where is the brother? Like, where's the husband brother in this?
Yeah, that's
Like,
what I
why
was
isn't
wondering.
he-
Would you do it to your father-in-law or mother-in-law?
No, but she would also never do that. Like ever.
It's extremely entitled for the sister-in-law.
Yeah, it's really entitled. And where the fuck is her brother? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I would
Like-
have a really hard time doing this, but it would piss me off if I walked back inside and I did see her wallet. I'd probably go back out to the car and be like, did you want your wallet?
And she'd be like, oh my God, I found your wallet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw your, yeah, that's probably.
Yeah.
I would do that to prove a point.
Yeah.
To someone that I'm like close with. Someone
Yeah.
that I don't know, I wouldn't do it, and I would just be secretly pissed off probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Would you
yeah,
Venmo request her?
Yes. Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
then what if, like, how pushy, like, if it was, say, dinner was total, $300, and you had to cover it, and she just kind of, like, didn't pay you back, or,
I'd be kind of fucking annoyed.
Yeah.
That's like pretty rude.
yeah.
And I don't think just because she makes more money than her so what does that mean? That's not all of a sudden her responsibility to feed you and take you to nice restaurants, you
Right.
know? And I think it's different if you like are treating them, it's their birthday or whatever, or they are celebrating something and you initiated that and you were like, oh, I want to go to this really fancy restaurant. Maybe they were like, that's really expensive. Like, I don't really want to pay that. And you're like, no, it's fine. Like, let's go. Then I think maybe you should expect to at least chip in for part of their bill if they, didn't feel comfortable spending that much money at a restaurant. But I think the fact that she made the reservation and then it's like, oh, I can't pay. That's so tacky.
Also, she's staying at their house for free.
Yeah.
How awkward.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
what
so
an
awkward. But like, where the fuck is the dude in this?
He needs to grow a backbone and tell his sister, like, hey, you need to pay us.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's crap.
I wish we can
I
hear
wanna-
more about what happened when she put the wallet.
I wish we could call them.
Me too.
Like have them call in.
Give me the updates.
Exactly. That's what I need to know because I also feel like a lot of times, obviously on these fucking forums, people usually make it
Themselves.
skewed to be in their favor. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, always. And then that's why it's so hard sometimes because you find some that are so dumb where you're like, yes, you are the asshole.
Yeah.
Like obviously.
Right.
Why are you asking?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think she's the asshole for bringing her wallet when she conveniently forgets it. And like, don't be mad because she did that.
Right.
Like she's pissed at you because you're taking advantage of her.
I wonder, like, if she ordered the sister ordered drinks and was just being liberal with what she was ordering. And
Right. Maybe she's like, yeah, another round.
Round
I'll
for
have the
table.
filet.
Yeah.
Hit me with the caviar. What irks me is when people order like a bunch of shit at like a group and you don't eat any of it.
Yeah.
And then you have to and then they're like, oh, just split it evenly. I'm like,
And then everyone's like, yeah. And you're like,
I didn't fucking eat any of this though. Like I ordered a fucking soup or whatever.
Yeah. No, it's so true.
that's happened to me so many times. And then I'm like, I don't know, don't ever want to be like, well, I didn't.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
You
this is
know.
awkward.
This is the first time I experienced this, but we went to a newer restaurant and they had the bill broken up by what was ordered. So you just on this pad, you add what you ordered and then you
Oh.
just pay that. And then you pass it over to whomever.
Yeah,
else.
that they have those.
I've
Like
never
those little
seen,
tablet things.
yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you just pick.
why
Yeah,
does-
smart. How do we even get on this? Oh, the wallet.
Restaurants,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I don't think that you're the asshole for bringing in your sister-in-law's wallet after she's done this to you multiple times and is clearly taking advantage of you.
Agreed.
Agree.
Charlie. Agreed. Okay. I think that's honestly going to be it for now. I feel like we've been going for a decent amount of time now.
Yep.
So we thank you for watching. We love you very much. And yeah, sorry that this was such a random episode, but like I said, we were filming 2.5 months in advance, so there's only so much you can do when you're filming that far ahead of time.
Is there anything you want to say to share with your future self?
Where do you want to be?
Let's see. I want to be
Sipping a margarita on a beach.
yeah, that'd be great. That's not happening in May. I can tell you that
No.
right now. Unless for some reason I randomly go on vacation, which is not happening. I think our neighborhood pool opens, so maybe I'll go there. I don't know what voice I have for myself. I don't really have any. Stop being so anxious about everything all the time.
That's good.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I've been telling myself that for 30 years.
When you watch this back, it's going to feel good.
And you're less anxious than you once.
What about advice for yourselves? Anything you have to say to yourself? It's like when you write that letter. Did you guys write letters in high school, like
Yes.
freshman year, and then open them up senior year?
Yep. Advice me future self. Hope you're more consistent with your habits.
Oh, T.
T.
Now you said it. Now you have to hold yourself accountable.
Yep.
Sydney?
Peace, love, and kindness.
Ew. Okay.
Live, laugh, and
Yeah.
love.
Live, laugh, love. Okay, that's it. We love you. We'll see you on the next Sesh. But till then,
Keep it fresh.
keep it fresh.
Friggity fresh.